Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to show you how to program drums in 5 easy steps. But before we get to the video, if you would like for me to mix your music, shoot me an email at divinemotherstudios@gmail.com. So I am making this video for a couple of friends of mine, two that I have in mind in particular, and for whatever reason, they are having difficulty programming drums, and I think that is due to a lack of a framework that they have, and they just need a system and something that they can refer to that would allow them to consistently get the same results and work efficiently, and would allow them to also be time efficient when it comes to programming drums, because programming drums is quite tedious, and if you don't have a framework to fall back on, it can be a little bit time consuming. Now, the 5-step framework that I have here is one that I learned from a fellow metal YouTuber named Scott Elliott over at Divinemother Studios. I bought his drum programming mastery course a couple years ago, and it has served me very well, and he teaches this 5-step framework. However, I have tweaked it over the years to kind of suit more of my needs, so this is just my variation of that. And that 5-step framework is sketch, experiment, review, enhance, humanize. So sketching is basically just outlining the basic rhythms for each section of your song. So once you have your sketched out drum beats, you then start experimenting with variations of that drum beat to find the beats that you feel suit even better than the current sketched out parts. After you have then experimented extensively, you then review by listening back to the entirety of the sections that you've programmed, and by stepping back and just reviewing the work that you've done up to that point with steps 1 and 2, you can then kind of gain a better perspective as to, do I want to change this to something else? Do I want to copy and paste this instead? So then you go into the cycle of repeating steps 1 through 3, which would be sketch, experiment, review, sketch, experiment, review, over and over and over, until you're satisfied as to where you are. After that is just refining everything, making sure that you actually have all the drum beats and the cymbal hits that you want. While the majority of the work has been done up to this point, you're now just filling in the minor details in terms of placement of cymbal hits and, tom fills, etc. Ultimately leading you to step number 5, which is humanization, where we humanize the velocity layers and the timing for the drum beats. Now, I'm going to show you how I do this, and while this may not be applicable to everyone, the principles still stay the same. And the reason I'm saying that is because I use predetermined drum MIDI beats that I bought off of TuneTrack themselves. So all of these folders here that you see are predetermined drum beats that they have created for me. As I mentioned in a previous video where I talked about wanting to save time and be as time efficient as possible, I have no shame in using predetermined beats, because eventually I am going to go through that process of sketch, review, and they're going to be changed ultimately to suit the needs of the song. I'm not going to just drag those in there and just leave them as is. But by actually using predetermined beats, it saves me a boatload of time versus having to just do it by hand. If I need to program a blast beat, I can just drag and drop this MIDI into the MIDI track versus having to do it by hand. But if you guys don't have any predetermined MIDI beats, that's quite all right. The principles still stay the same. Just start it off by hand, sketch it out, review it, rinse and repeat. Sketch it out, review it, rinse and repeat. All right, moving on, let's go ahead and check out what we got here. Here's the song that I wrote for this video. So there is absolutely no drums programmed here. It's just guitar and bass for now. I am actually hearing in my head that I would like a blast beat. So luckily we're already in the blast beat section on my folders. And the cool thing is about predetermined beats is that they are organized in such a way that you can decide, what kind of beat you want fairly quickly. I want a blast beat that has the accents on the ride. So let me just try this one out. All right, that sounds good to me. Let's check it out. Yep, that fits perfectly. So let's go ahead and just copy that a couple times and sketch out that section. All right, now it sounds a bit monotonous. There's no variation whatsoever. So this is where we would start with the experimentation process, but I'm not gonna do that just yet because I am not finished sketching out the rest of the song. So let me go ahead and finish filling out the rest of the song here with beats that I'm gonna sketch out. See what's next. I'm hearing more of like a thrashy kind of beat here. So let's see if I can find one. Let's see. What do I got? Thrashy kind of beat. Let's try this guy. What about this one? So this one sounds like it's going to fit my section a little bit better. I'm going to just go ahead and check it out, see how it sounds. Yep, that sounds good. I think I'm going to stick to another blast beat here. I like the idea of a blast beat here. So let's go ahead and go back to my blast beats. But this time I want to do like a Nile blast. They're called bomb blast, but I call them Nile blast. Where you have the blast beat with the double pedal under it. All right, so we have sketched out our basic drum track. Now let's move on to step number 2, which is experimentation. Now for this first part, I do like that it starts with the ride. But for the second half, I feel like we can add a little bit of variation so that it's not so stagnant with just the ride hits. And now that we're currently on the bomb blast here, I do like the idea of adding a bomb blast in there. Let's see if this might work. And then I actually like the idea of going back to a ride blast. Now the thrash beats sound great here as well. But here, I think I would like some double pedal with the skank beats. So let's go ahead and find a thrash beat with double pedal. That'll work. Let's just drag this guy in there. And I don't want to end it with that thrash beat. I think I'm going to end it with... I don't know. I'm not sure what I would do there. Let's try a halftime. No, that's not going to work, but we can give it a shot. I don't know if that'll like that, though. Let's see about maybe trying like a more normal beat. No, that's not going to work at all. That's not going to work at all. You know what? Let's just keep it easy and just duplicate the first half of that. Copy this guy over here. You know what? I'm going to see if I can fit in a drum fill here. I think that'll be a good segue to the last section here. So let's go find some drum fills. Seems a little excessive, but why not? Let's try it for shits and giggles. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is a little too monotonous as well. Let me go back to the bomb blasts here. Go to bomb blasts. Let's see what we got. Not too bad. Interesting. That could be a cool one. Oh, I actually like that a lot. Second half needs to change. I don't want it to be a complete blast. Try a syncopated riff. Maybe that might work. Oh, okay. Kind of getting an idea here. Actually, yeah, let's give this a shot here. Cut this guy in half. That should fit perfectly. All right, so let's go ahead and now move on to step number 3, which is to step back and review everything that we've done so far. All right, now we're going to move on to step number 4. Since we reviewed everything, everything's sounding great. There are a few sections, so now we're going to move on to the enhancing phase, where we enhance the transitions, the small hits, to kind of add a lot more of the detail to these drum hits. There was a section in particular that stood out to me that needed some help here. I think it was... right here. Yep, this is it right here. See if we can pop this bad boy in here. No, a little too much, but we'll try it with this one. I mean, I can't complain there. Let's check a different section. Yeah, these first two parts need help. I want like a ding 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 on the ride there. So there's find a blast beat that it's doing that. There we go. Okay, maybe not for the first half, but the second half definitely. Let's see if I can find something else. That sounds cool. Some accents there into the ride. Let's try that. Okay, the transition wasn't as smooth as I would like, but it's on the right track, actually. See, there was a bit... here it is. Delete that. Weird overlap there. There we go. And there's another weird overlap here. Get rid of that. And I am now just cleaning up everything as we're, like I said, this is part of step 4, which is the enhancement phase. Just cleaning everything up, making everything, just enhancing it by adding the fills that you need and moving on as you go. Hey, there was a weird little thing here. Get rid of you guys. You guys. there was another weird little thing here. Get rid of that. Alrighty, I think we're good. Let me just add the last little bit here. I need one of these and a crash left and a crash right. Delete you. Gonna want a, there we go, this guy and this guy. Turn up the velocities. Yeah, that sounds. Boom, perfect. Cool. Now we have enhanced our drum track. The last step would be step number 5, which is to then humanize the track. And fortunately, TuneTrack with their predetermined beats have already taken the liberty of doing this for me. So if I was to show you some velocities, you would see that all of these are humanized. But just for the sake of the video, I am happy to show you guys what that would be. So let's go ahead and just pop this in and set all of these to, oh, I don't know. Let's do like 100. Set those all to 100. Quantize the living shit out of them. So everything has been zeroed out. And I would just then from there just take everything, hit H on my keyboard, which is velocity, and then just humanize it with that. Now you don't have the luxury of just doing it once. You have to go in there and adjust as you go each time to get greater variation. And for the timing, all I have to do is hit Shift H, and it's an auto feature. You can't really see it unfortunately, but show you guys. I just go here, highlight everything, hit Shift H, and then their timing is automatically humanized. You can see here the notes are not on the grid. They're kind of spaced out in different areas. If I was to hit Control Z, it would all kind of just go back to what they were before, which is on the grid, but I just do that. And I would just rinse and repeat that process till I am satisfied with the velocities and the timing. And there you go. There is my 5-step framework for how to program drums in a time-efficient manner. Again, you're going to sketch out your tracks, and then you're going to experiment with it. After you experiment, you're going to go ahead and review it, and then make any minor changes, and rinse and repeating steps 1 through 3 over and over and over until you're satisfied with the layout of your new drum track. From there, you're just going to go ahead and enhance it by making sure that the drum beats are exactly the ones that you want, that they flow together nicely. And then lastly, after all of that is done, you're going to go ahead and move on to step number 5, where you humanize everything with the velocities and the timing. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.